Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca, and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to discuss on some interesting updates. We start with new sporting director Deco, who was appointed 2 days ago. We are going to be discussing on six major challenges that Deco would seek to overcome after taking over the role officially. We are going to discuss on that as we move ahead. Secondly, talking about new signing Inigo Martinez, who have been out injured. We are going to be discussing on what the player had to say in a recent interview after it was reported that he has 10 days away from receiving medical clearance and could return against Villarreal. We are also going to be discussing on that. So, guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Earlier this week, Barca confirmed what was already well known as they officially appointed Deco as the club's new sporting director. What came as a surprise was that Barca also confirmed that Matteo Alemany will be vacating his post as the director of football once the transfer window comes to a close. The restructuring points at Deco having full power on matters regarding transfers and contracts at Barca moving forward. And as such, the 45-year-old former Portuguese international will have a lot of responsibilities on his shoulders moving forward. With Deco now taking over in full capacity, Mundo Deportivo lists out the six biggest challenges that Barca's new sporting director has to take on in the short and the long terms. Let's start with the first. A new right back. A top priority at this point and a huge challenge for Deco is to find a new right back for Xavi and Barca before the transfer window closes. The position has been a problematic one for Barcelona since Dani Alves' departure and needs to be addressed at the earliest. Talks are underway to sign Joao Cancelo from Manchester City on loan, while Deco likes Real Valladolid youngster Ivan Fresneda as a long-term bet. The second, a creative interior. Another of manager Xavi's requests before the transfer window closes is for the club to sign a creative midfielder. The manager wishes to, add another interior midfielder to his ranks to avoid overburdening Pedri. Bernardo Silva, has been Xavi and Barca's dream target, but signing the player from Manchester City is out of the question at this point in time. As such, Deco must find a suitable alternative who fits the requirements and is viable financially. The third, top midfielder to replace Busquets. Barcelona lost one of their greatest ever players in Sergio Busquets this summer. With the veteran midfielder opting to leave for Inter Miami, it left a huge void in the team, which the club filled with Oriol Romeu. The Catalans had more ambitious targets on their agenda such as Joshua Kimmich and Martin Zubimendi, but had to settle for Romeo due to the club's financial situation. The Spaniard has started off well at this boyhood club, Barca, but it's hardly a long-term solution, right? And as such, Deco must start working on finding a top-quality long-term heir to Busquets' throne. The fourth, downward renewals. One of the biggest factors holding Barca back in the transfer market is the club's financial fair play situation and their bloated wage bill. While efforts have been made to trim the salary mass, they must continue to find ways to keep it in check for the coming season as well without compromising their transfer plans. As such, it becomes important for Deco to negotiate new contracts with reduced salaries for two of the club's highest paid players in Frankie de Jong and Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Both players signed lucrative long-term contracts back in 2020, which are proving to be a burden on the club, and Deco must find a way to negotiate a salary reduction with the pair. The fifth is attract more young talents. In the short term, Deco has been at the club It has been seen that the former midfielder places a lot of emphasis on signing young talents with potential, and that must continue moving forward. The sporting director has already secured the signings of Vitor Roque, Mikhail Faye, Noah Davic for starters already in this summer, and even made a strong play for Ada Güler, while he is also pushing to sign Ivan Fresneda. More of the same will be expected from Deco in the transfer window to come. The sixth, define an organization chart. With Deco taking over as sporting director and Matteo Alemani soon set to leave, there is a major restructuring set to take place at Barcelona, and it will be up to Deco and other key stakeholders such as Vice President Rafa Yuster to lay down a proper structure and organization plan as far as the club's recruitment and sporting department is concerned for the years to come. Of course, Deco coming as the new sporting director knows very well that the responsibilities that he has are just too many, right? Because when we talk about Barca being at a stage where the club have gone back down, after the economic crisis, after the COVID-19, everything was exposed how the former president Jose Maria Bartomeu have embezzled and spoiled the club. And of course, even though he's been investigated, but we wish that justice is prevailing. Because right now, Laporta is into serious, how can I put it? His mission is too much because to bring back Barca to the level that it was once before, it's not easy. Look at now, nowadays, Barca will be going for free agents like we are the poorest club in the world. So it is not easy to do that. So we're just in a period of transition, which means the sporting director have a lot of things to do. It's not something for the short run, but will be for the long run. Then on to the final story of discussion. Earlier today, Inigo Martinez was spotted in group training with the rest of the Barca squad for the first time. The defender arrived at Barca this summer. He had a foot injury, which kept him away from training sessions as he worked individually majority of the time. And today was the first instance where we saw him training with the rest of the team. However, despite Inigo resuming group training, Javi Miguel is saying that the 32-year-old is still 10 days away from receiving medical green lights. As such, the left-footed centre-half will not be ready to feature against Cadiz in Barca's first home game of the season. Instead, the report states that the Spanish international could be fully preparing him for the match against Villarreal in Match Day 3 of La Liga. With Araujo injured and set to be sidelined for at least 1 month, Xavi would have liked for Martinez to be available at the earliest possible. However, that does not appear to be the case, with the 32-year expected to be ready for his debut only next week when Barca travel to Villarreal. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.